What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for Ambitions season 1 episode 11. Y'all, this is they're calling this a mid-season finale. Y'all know how they doing this mid-season mess now. I blame Scandal. We ain't never do no mid-season finales until Scandal, but whatever. So a whole bunch of stuff went down. You know what I mean? They gave us a whole bunch of little cliffhangers. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So first of all, let's go to the mayor's house where dysfunction is at an all-time high. They're eating breakfast, and Evan loves his daughter. Now he's a horrible husband, and he ain't don't seem to be that great of a mayor, but he does love his daughter. And he said that, a friend of his who I guess is in charge of the Royal Academy of Acting or something like that in London. Is interested in her because their daughter is a budding actress, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's great. Maybe I'll look into going like now because she mad at her mama and she ain't trying to be there with her mama." And Stephanie gonna say, "Well, that's great. Maybe next year." And she was like, "Maybe now." And he was like, "Look, what's going on with y'all? Because y'all been at each other's throat for weeks now. Like, what's really good?" And Stephanie was like, "Well." Oh, and that's the other thing Stephanie said. She said, "I do support her dreams. Like, you seem like you want to make it seem like I don't support you. I support your dreams. Whatever." Next thing you know, honey, Daddy Carlisle done busted. Is that their last name, Carlisle? Anyway, he done busted up in the joint because some little magazine rag got a picture of the daughter kissing the Purefoy daughter, and somebody sent it to him. So he done busted up in there, honey, and he is hot, okay? And he mad about her being gay and about her being with the Purefoy daughter. He was like, and he gonna turn to Stephanie like, you really need to work on your house. Like, they out of control over here. Why you ain't getting it together? Um, so he really coming at the daughter like real sideways, and everyone's like, "What you not getting ready to do is talk. You're not gonna come up in my house talking to my daughter crazy. I'm gonna tell you what you're not gonna do. So get your ass up out of here. Back down, pops. Back down." And he did. He kind of gave Stephanie that look like handle it, but he backed up out of there. He did back up out of there. Now, Miss Amara, poor thing, her husband done left her, but the show must go on, honey. She got to she went back down there to the building permit place, honey, with the guy that they know is taking the bribes from Peters. And she told him, look, because at first he was going to testify, but of course, now they done scared him, and he's like, he ain't testifying. And she said, look, you don't have no choice. We have you dead to rights. So either you participate and you either participate and you help us convict Peters, or you going to jail. And he was like, man, I made one mistake and my whole life is over. And Amara was like, and I guess Amara was thinking in her head, shit, I did, and look at me. But she told him, she was like, look, you better go ahead and do what you said you were going to do, and or you going to jail. So she goes out in the hallway to take the phone call, and this man, he done shot himself in the head and killed himself. I'm like, how? He just got a gun. He just walked in a government building with a gun. Like, that's what we doing now. So of course Amara is shook because she actually went back in and saw the body on the floor. So she is shook, right? Now over to Bella. Bella is still hanging out with the Valentino daughter. I mean the Valentino son. Valentina, excuse me, not Valentino, but Valentina's son. And I knew he was shaky, y'all. I knew it was something about him that was shady. I didn't trust him. And we see him on the phone talking to whoever he talking to, talking about something. Yeah, this is gonna be easier than I thought. So they are setting her up. We don't know what they setting her up for yet, but they are setting her up, honey. So come to find out, she does end up getting the contract with Valentina, but I don't know. I don't know what the setup is. I don't know if the mayor's setting her up. I don't know if the ex-boyfriend is setting her up. I don't know if this is a totally different entity that we don't know nothing about that's setting her up. Like, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, she being set up. We'll get back to that later. Now over down to the Purefoy offices. Daddy Purefoy then got himself a new drug to put on the market. From his head pharmacist, who's the only other black guy that works there. Remember, they went out, him and Titus went out for cocktails a few months back, and the daughter wasn't feeling it because she was like, Daddy, The pharmacist knows our secrets. It's probably not a good idea that he's cohorting with the lead counsel that's defending us in this lawsuit. Well, they have this new drug they want to put on the market. And Daddy is all gung ho for it. Titus is like, that ain't a good look. Like, you are in the middle of a lawsuit over your opioids. It's probably not a good idea to put another designer drug on the market. Like, we might need to put this on hold until we resolve this lawsuit. Daddy Purefoy is like, no, hell no, no. I want to put it on. I want to put it on the market now. Now the daughter was like, Mia, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually agree with Titus. It's just not the right time. It's not a good look. It's really not the right time. He told both of them basically kiss his ass. He was putting his new drug on the market. He told Titus, get me out the lawsuit. Like, I got a way to resolve this. Fix the lawsuit. And while they're in this meeting, daughter's phone going off because um the ex-girlfriend is trying to call her and let her know about the gossip rag about the picture that's about to come out on the internet. And Amara keep blowing Titus up. So both of their phones keep going off while they in the daggone meeting. So when the meeting's over, Daddy Purefoy wants to talk to Titus. And of course, he wants to talk to him about this pro bono case. He's like, look, what's up with you? Like, I'm paying you to deal with this lawsuit. Like, I'm not paying you to go help your little homegirls down in the hood deal with their little lawsuit. And of course, Titus got pissed off, but he was like, let me count to 10. Count to 10. He said, he was like, you know, basically, he was like, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do and you're not going to talk to me crazy. He said, oh, and by the way, while I was helping my little homegirl down in the hood, I cost, what's his name? Stephanie's father. I cost him millions of dollars with this lawsuit and potentially him losing one of his biggest clients. So thank you. And of course, as he walked up, Daddy Purefoy, of course, was happy, like, oh, okay, cool, cool. But that little homeboy down in the ghetto comment, or homegirl down in the ghetto comment, hit her the wrong way, hit him the wrong way. All right, down to Thelma's place. Rondell getting the people back together. She said, look, I lost my way for a little while. I let my sister-in-law get in my head, but I'm back. We're going to save back. Nags is back. We're going to save the banks. Work with me, people. Work with me. Work with me. And they get her. They got her back again. They got her back again now. Her little boyfriend ain't been back around, but I don't know. I guess we'll see him next season. And here come Peters come walking up in the place. Now, Rondell, here's my thing. I get it that Rondell is playing big bad Billy Badass. I'm not scared of nobody. But you do know that this man is dangerous. You do know that this man really is not all bark and no bite. Like, he really means what he says and says what he means. And you playing with fire. But she's talking to him real crazy. And I'm like, Rondell, like, you do remember he the same person that, when you put the knife to him at the beginning of the season, he leaned into the knife and let himself bleed and told you the next time you pull out a knife, you better be ready to use it. Like, I wouldn't be playing this dude like he don't mean it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be playing him so fake like that. But anyway, he get to threatening Rondell and Daddy, and Senior came out there with his sawed off shotgun. It might not be sawed off, but anyway, his shotgun, and he, and of course everybody in the restaurant looked up like, oh shit. And he basically told him, don't you come through here no more. Don't you threaten my daughter no more, or it's going to be me and you, player. I'm like, okay. So Stephanie and Daddy have a conversation down to the law firm. And Daddy done told Stephanie, look, you need to tighten up your household, because what you're not going to do is have your daughter run around town with a bunch of women, especially that woman. And Stephanie was like, so Daddy, is your problem? She said, look, I have a problem with who she's choosing to be with, but I don't have a problem with her being gay. And you're not going to be, and basically she let her father know, look, you ain't going to make no homophobic comments and you're not going to make my daughter feel uncomfortable about her sexuality. So we can agree on the fact that we don't like who she dating, but you're not going to make my daughter feel bad about being gay. And he was like, in my day, we didn't have no gay people. She was like, the hell we didn't. She said, you had gay people. They just didn't feel comfortable to live in their truth because of people like you. He said, all right, fine, whatever. Let's get to the other business. What's up with you and Peterson? And he basically let her know, I know y'all been sleeping together. And she gave him this look. He was like, I told you, nothing goes on in my town without me knowing about it. And you made the biggest mistake you could ever make. He said, you shit where you lay. And because of that, you are off the case. I'm taking my client back. And she was like, oh no, daddy, no, you can't do that. He was like, I can and I will. You just focus on that damn law, that class action lawsuit. You handle that. You take care of Titus. How about that? He said, and I noticed that you've been off your game ever since Titus got his ass back in town. And she was like, I'm over that. He said, whatever. I know what they did. I know how that betrayal, I know how it disturbed you. I know how it hurt you. So you can tell that to somebody who don't know what's up. I see. Oh, baby. So we starting to see Daddy now. Daddy giving us a whole nother look this episode, okay? Back over to the Purifoy compound. Baby girl Purifoy done had to tell Daddy about the pictures. She thought Daddy was gonna be mad. Daddy thought it was funny. He said, what? He said they basically plastered all over every billboard in town that I'm a racist. He said, do you know how this is gonna look? That my daughter is dating a black woman, and who he said, and I can't think of a better way to get her. I think the was it what did I say their name was? Carlton, I don't know. Anyway, what's their name? Anyway, I don't know a better way to get under their skin than to be dating, to have my daughter dating their daughter. He was like, keep up the good work. Matter of fact, she said, well, it's over now. He said, you go make up with her. You make this work. You go figure that out. All right, down to the mayor's office. Evan is playing chess Papa with Daddy Senior with Senior. They're playing chess, and he tells him, he's like, look, I'm getting ready to ask my girl to marry me for real this time. We kind of messed it up last time. We got sidetracked with the whole, business deal thing. He said, but we about to go ahead and do it this time. He said, and I really want you to stand with me. I want you to basically be my best man at the ceremony if she says yes. And he was like, okay, Dad, I got you. Cool, cool, cool. He said, yeah. And so then he started talking to him about his grandkids, right? And Evan was like, oh, I take care of them. They good to go. They don't want for anything. You know how I love my grandkids. Because he was like, I want to make sure my grandkids are taken care of. And he looks up at Evan. He said, I'm talking about all your children. Honey, and then he hit him with the good checkmate, got up and left the office. Evan was like, huh, well played, old man. So now Evan knows that Senior knows that he got more than one child. And I'm pretty certain he knows who it is. So we're gonna see how that part plays out, right? Um, back down to the Purifoy office. Amar goes to visit Titus, because Titus is not answering none of her phone calls, none of her texts, nothing. And he was like, what are you doing here? She was like, well, I mean, you didn't give me much of a choice. She said, basically, she was like, I'm not gonna stop fighting for us. And he was like, that's up to you. Like, that's on you. So then she tells him about what happened with the guy committing suicide, and how she walked in and saw his body laying on the floor, and just how hard it was for her, and she's crying and everything. And he was empathetic. He was empathetic. He was like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that happened to you. He said, but as much as, he said, I really can't comfort you right now. Like, I really don't have nothing to give you. Sorry, y'all. He was like, I really don't have nothing to give you. Like, I really can't. I ain't got nothing for you. And of course, so, she walked up out of there crying. He was like, he told her, he said, look, unless it has something to do with our daughter, me and you ain't got nothing to talk about. So she said, well, can you at least tell me where you're staying just in case something happens with our daughter? So he told her the hotel room and the room number. I knew then it was going to be a problem. I said, you know good and damn well, she just got finished telling you she not going to give up on y'all marriage. You know good and well she going to do a pop-up. Now, I didn't anticipate the pop-up, but I knew it was going to happen. Down to Thelma's place, Rondell and Senior then found their secret bodyguard. Remember last week Stephanie put a bodyguard on Rondell, and she'd have found her secret bodyguard. And once again, Rondell not taking it seriously. And I'm like, girl, Stephanie don't like you. So for her to put a bodyguard on you, you have to know that there's a reason. You had to know it's something with that. Now here was one of the best scenes of the episode, honey. Peters goes to walk up in his office, and who's already sitting at his desk? But Stephanie Daddy, honey. He is sitting up at the desk. He gonna tell him, what you doing in here? He was like, I just want to let you know that I'm now in charge of the case because you and my daughter were too busy screwing to get the business, to get the deal done. So just so you know, I got it covered from here on out. He was like, no, me and your daughter doing fine together. He was like, you're not understanding me. That's no longer an option. He says, well, um, he said, your father's not very happy at this whole situation. He said, I just came back from Serbia where I spoke to my father. He said, I know. He said, and I just got off the phone with your father. And your father, at this point, from this point on out, you're going to do what I tell you to do. He was like, I'm not taking no orders from you. He said, oh, you thought that was a suggestion. It wasn't. He said, understand. He said, my father wouldn't do anything to me. He said, understand something, baby. Your father already put the hit out on you. Okay. Your father got a warehouse full of money that he needs to launder, and he has got to find a project, and it's going to be this project. So I'm going to fix it, and you're going to do what I tell you to do, or I'm going to let your father know that you're not being very cooperative. He said, because the only reason why you still alive is because of me. I said, oh, shit. I said, oh, wait, honey. I said, okay, okay. So whatever that is, honey, that's a deep history right there. That is a deep history. And daddy ain't playing. Um, Then we have Stephanie texting Titus back and forth. The daughter done said that she gonna leave now. She said she really don't have no interest in staying here. She can't stand her mama, and she gonna take that. She already applied to go to London early, and she leaving now. Evan done made a date to go see his dominatrix slash chief of staff, and Stephanie is texting Titus, right? Evan leaves the house to go meet up with the dominatrix, right? He get there. She talking about some meet me at our spot. She gets there, and she gets there. I mean, he gets there, and she's already laying on the bed in her little dominatrix gear and everything. And he like, oh, tonight let's switch roles. Let me be the dominant, you be the submissive. Blah blah blah. He looking at her. He like, what's going? He like, what's going on? Wake up! What you doing? You taking a nap? You fell asleep waiting for me? Baby, she dead. So Evan gets on the phone and calls one of his people. He was like, look, I got a situation. Hurry up and get here. So I'm like, oh Lord, we gotta clean that up. Then down to Bella's house. Bella, she tucking Joaquin in the bed. Come to find out, Mr. Valentina is there, and he done bought some champagne over to celebrate the fact that she got the contract, that she's gonna be a part of the Valentina company officially. She off probation. She's officially a part of the company now. And remember this whole time, Bella was like, she want to remain professional. She doesn't want to get caught up in no bull stuff. Well, honey, they get to drinking and sipping on that champagne. And he was like, well, let me let you go. And she was like, this being professional thing is overrated. Next thing you know, they kissing. Next thing you know, they having sex, honey. Next thing you know, they in the bed. Next thing you know, somebody done snuck into Joaquin's room and kidnapped him. So I don't know who they're connected to. Like, I don't know who this is that wants that baby. But they done got the baby. So I don't know if it's one of Evan's enemies that done figured out that that's his son. I don't know if it's the ex-boyfriend that done figured out that that's his son. I don't know if it's just somebody we don't know yet. I don't know who it is, but they done came and kidnapped that damn baby. So next thing you know, Stephanie and Titus are down to the now. He don't tell Stephanie. Stephanie texted him talking about we need to go ahead and meet about resolving this case. He gonna tell her to meet him down at the hotel bar. That's always a bad idea. The hotel where you got a room upstairs, dummy. They down at the bar and they trying to talk and resolve this case. And he clearly is not there. Like his mind is totally not on resolving this case. Stephanie talking about, so what's on your mind? I'm a good listener. Have I ever betrayed your trust? Have I ever told any of your secrets before? And he was like, Stephanie, I can't talk to you about this. Why not? We're just friends. In her Robin Givens way. And he was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. She said, I mean, is there someplace more comfortable we can have this conversation? And he kind of gives her that look. Next thing you know, baby, Amara walking down the hallway. Now they flashing back and forth between Amara walking down this hallway and back over to Thelma's place. Senior is dressed up, honey. He looking cleaner than the board of health, honey. He on his way out to his date to go pick up his boo and ask her to marry him officially. And Senior said the same thing I said. Senior said, Rondell, I don't really like the fact that you sent the bodyguard away. She said, Peter's is all bark and no bite. And I'm thinking to myself, no, he's not. No, he's not. Um, he said, yeah, but for real, Stephanie sent the bodyguard here. Stephanie don't like you. So Stephanie wouldn't have sent the bodyguard if she didn't think it was needed, it was necessary. And she was like, Daddy, don't worry about it. We got it. We good to go. Don't worry about it, Daddy. We're fine. It's fine. It's fine. I knew something. I knew. I pretty much knew what was going to happen because I knew anyway. So now they flash back to the hotel room. We see Amara walking down the hallway. I said she done went over to that damn hotel. She go to knocking on the door. Who answers the door in the bathrobe? Stephanie. Now I said, how Stephanie know to answer that damn door? But Stephanie answered that door in that bathrobe, and she's looking and she's like, Stephanie, what are you doing here? Next thing you know, she looked behind Stephanie. Stephanie said something smart, I don't remember. She looked behind Stephanie. Who? Next thing you know, Titus standing there in his shirt. Now, do I think they was really doing the dude? No. I think something went down, like Stephanie done fucked around and accidentally spilled soda on both of them so that she would have to put his robe on. Like, I believe she orchestrated the situation. But of course, we're not going to find that out till next season or the second half of the season. Back over to Thelma's Diner, Senior's walking to his car. Got the music playing and everything. And Thelma's inside, tallying up the receipts of the day, honey. Next thing you know, somebody rolled up on Senior, call his name, got the gun in his hand. He shoots Senior 2, 3 times. You see Senior laying on the ground. Senior must have knew who it was, or at least it got the impression he knew who it was, because he looked up at the person that shot him and was like, kiss my ass. And the guy shot him one last time. Honey, Senior is dead. Okay? Senior is dead, dead, dead. Now, the assumption is that it's Peter's. I don't think it's that simple because, the man got a lot of enemies, but it might be that simple. But anyway, so that's where we left off, y'all. We'll see what happens next season, honey. We'll see where we end up next season. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.